Cyberpunk Edgerunners Slabs. It slaps harder than your mom when you misbehave at school. Harder even than the protagonist of the famous 2022 hit song Shot You Wanna Fuck. If you haven't seen it, why the hell are you watching this video in the first place? Close YouTube, stop procrastinating, take your life into your own hands. Experience something close to the unfamiliar sensation of sex.
Cycle suspended due to insufficient funds.
Jeez, not again.
All 10 episodes are on Netflix, but I must warn you. There is a manual that you have to follow while watching the show. Don't worry, there is no need to play the game and you don't have to fight for the correct watch order with the Fate fans. There are only 2 rules. First, don't rush. Edgerunners has 10 episodes, but damn they are packed. It feels like Studio Trigger condensed the script and the plot in a lab, and we as the chimpanzees they are testing this crack on. Every scene has a meaning, and every piece of dialogue is there for a reason, because there's physically no room to spare. You can imagine the plot as an insanely crowded train packed with important points and ideas that drifts breaking the speed limit. Visuals are sharp with a ton of references and interesting background action, on top of the insane animation and action style of Studio Trigger. Taking the whole show in one sitting will literally overload your brain, possibly providing even more immersion in the cyberpunk world, because by the end of episode 10, you'll feel like a cyber psycho yourself. So I'll say it again, don't rush it. Split the experience into 2 or 3 watching sessions and you'll have a great time. The second watch rule is a bit subjective, but I'm gonna say it. Watch Cyberpunk Edgerunners with an official English voice acting. I know that suggesting to watch an anime in the dub is akin to heresy, and somebody already sharpens their stakes for this opinion, but I don't give a shit and neither should you. Once in a millennia, we've actually got an amazing crew of English-speaking actors and excellent performances from them in an anime. Hell, they even got Giancarlo Esposito to play Gus again. He has 4 eyes now, but still the same character. At the end of the day, dub or sub is your personal choice, but I want you.
I was acting. Or was I?
There's one more thing that I forgot to mention. Actually, I did not forget, I'm just stretching the script, but the point is, lower your expectations. At the end of the day, watching anime is a subjective experience. Your mood and attitude towards the show before and during consumption plays the same role as the quality of the production. The Cyberpunk game was a clear example of the negative effect of overhype, and I don't want the Cyberpunk anime to end in the same way. Do not expect gigabrain philosophical shit Arcoproxy style. You won't find complex questions that humanity will have to face in the corrupted digital future. Cyberpunk Edgerunners is raw brutal fun. You can think of it as Rebecca's shotgun. Rebecca is a fun-flavored character from the show. She's a noisy, crazy brat that shoots everything that moves. In the first scene she's introduced, she jerks off a random guy to help her team. An amazing display of teamwork and dedication, I must say. Rebecca has a shotgun painted blue and pink that she effectively uses throughout the show to disassemble the heads of her enemies. Do those colors serve a special purpose? Or have a deep meaning in her character's story? Not at all. But the sure thing is, it is more fun to discharge the clip in the body of the already dead punk holding a blue and pink shotgun instead of a dull grey or black one. If you can still have fun watching anime and reviews like this give you a chuckle, you'll enjoy Cyberpunk Edgerunners. This part of the video contains heavy spoilers, I warned you. If you've already watched Cyberpunk Edgerunners, congratulations! You are on a path to becoming an honorable human being. An interesting thing that I thought about after watching the show is how Trigger made me care for the characters in such a short span of time. The team David gets himself in is very diverse, and they do not get a lot of screen time. But somehow, when shit happens, I cared. We see all the characters from David's perspective, and for him, this pack of crazy bastards is not just random punks. Trigger laconically shows us daily interactions between the main crew and the protagonist to solidify the feeling of affiliation that he experienced probably for the first time in his life. Edgerunners are David's newfound family. Speaking of his biological family, I saw an opinion that the arc of David's mom was rushed and felt pointless because of it. She has like 2 minutes of screen time, why would anyone care about her death? But somehow, that was a thing that hit me. Gloria Martinez was with us just for a bit, but she was there. She was a part of that world, trying her best to save her son from the violent destiny of the cyberpunk citizen. And in a blink of an eye, a can of ashes fallen from the vending machine is all that is left of her. That was the best way to show what human life is truly worth in a night city. Honestly, the main character David is a beast himself. He's probably the kindest 17-year-old kid you can imagine. The dude is straight A student in an academy where he endures bullying for years, just to not make his mom sad. Then his mom dies, and his class bully makes fun of it. When David got a military implant, I was sure that the school will witness a gory massacre. But guess what? David punched his bully in the face. Once. That's it. At that moment, I questioned whether I'm watching the biography of some saint or stuff like that. And that childish, pure-hearted nature of the protagonist glimpses through the whole show, making the last few episodes more impactful. His love interest Lucy is the best girl in the show, and I will fight for this with Rebecca Knight. My waifu is not a Mr. Beast Smashburger patty, at least. Lucy is older than David, and their love dynamic was, at the very least, weird for me personally, but it made a perfect sense for those two characters to end up together. David was a naive kid who lived for someone else's dream for his whole life. His mother's death left a hole in him that Lucy perfectly filled. He got a new goal in life, a girl he shared his first date and the best moment in his life, and he kinda got a hot stepmom. Lucy, on the other hand, fell for David's pure and naive nature. She hates Night City and the people who live in it. Her goal is to run away to the moon, literally as far as humanly possible. So David's kind heart, which is such a mismatch for a cyberpunk world, attracted her. But you don't have to be Sherlock to deduct that this love story isn't a happy one. Sometimes screenwriters leave red flags here and there, but the Edgerunner script is one ginormous red flag itself. From the very start we know this will end badly, and someone continuously tells this throughout the whole show. I can't say that the main characters are quote-unquote good people. They kill, steal, and break all 10 commandments every other day. Even then, I guess I wanted, I don't know, a happier ending for everyone involved. But for folks like them, wrong city. wrong people.
I couldn't wait for you to come and clear the cupboard. But now you're gone and leaving nothing but a sign. Another evening I'll be sitting reading in between your lines, because I miss you all the time. So